Just put the things up.
Whatever song you chose, the microphone, you make sure all
Let me be the first, but certainly not the most important person here to thank everyone for being here. Some of you came great distances. Some of us were paid to be here, cash or check march. But really appreciate the opportunity to see the look on Larry's face, the love and affection that really emanated from the room, and seeing some people I haven't seen in a long time, and the embraces that everyone's able to do with old friends. Here's a little cartoon, by the way, that Marge sent that I think in many ways epitomizes Larry's sense of fashion. And, and Larry's, I like to remind him he's not so quick on the uptake. And if you didn't figure out what Marge orchestrated here was basically,
This is for me.
everybody in the room is wearing your standard uniform of blue blazer and khaki pants. Including some of the women, I told you it was a bad idea, Marge, but most of the people in the room are wearing it. I look at a sea of people in this outfit, and to me, it's not people necessarily dressed in just party attire. I see people wearing Larry's favorite outfit for skiing, Larry's favorite outfit for the beach, Larry's favorite outfit, I think, when it's sexy time at home. I don't know. But something tells me it involves a blue blazer. So.
It works for us.
There's a couple people who want to say things. There's obviously some music to come. But I thought I would just tell a quick story that I think in some ways epitomizes my relationship with Larry, and it revolves around our recent Thanksgiving in Tahoe. Now, I'll take you through some notable milestones. The first is leaving for Tahoe, and Lauren and I insisted with Larry and Marge, whatever you do not leave Tuesday at 3 o'clock. And they were adamant that they'll be fine, and they have important things to do, and they have Airbnb to hand over keys. And not shockingly, Larry stubbornly held his ground. And amazingly, they left at 3 and arrived at about 11. And Lauren and I left at 6:30 and arrived at, I think, 11. So that, in many ways, now to be fair, someone who's a normal driver would have made it in less time. Larry's cautious driving adds extra time while he travels by car. But that's one story. The second story revolves around some guy time Larry and I had in the locker room. And Lauren was really excited about this. She said, I think it's really wonderful that you and my dad are going to spend some time together. So, we went for a workout. We go to sit in the hot tub. And I ordered a round of beers because that's what most people drink in the locker room. And I look over, and Larry's quietly asking the bartender for a Cosmopolitan extra cold in a martini glass. It was utterly embarrassing. I really
With an umbrella.
And the third story, true to form with Larry, was we were with Ella, and we were skiing, and it was in cover, and Larry insisted on coming with us on this run, and he did fall a couple times, but I would say, as many of you know Larry well, I would say kind of grit is a good word to describe him, and he got up, brushed himself off, and kept going down. So it was fine. Ella, of course, was the first one down and kept calling and saying, "Where are you guys?" And I said, "It's Grandpa, not me." But it was a memorable experience. And the last story is an interesting one. And
You sure that wasn't the last story?
one more for me. Really a pleasure to be here. The last story I have for you, as many people know, Lauren and Margie are really best of friends. They're not just mother and daughter, they're best of friends. But there was one night where they got in an argument that I will say shook the house and shook the neighborhood. And I really haven't seen that really ever before, and I don't even frankly remember what it was about, and I'm sure it was about nothing important. But at one point, Larry looks over, he puts his hand on my shoulder, and I could see, the look of his eyes said, "I'm sorry, this crazy woman's your mother-in-law, and I'm sorry, this crazy person you married's my daughter." But he didn't say that. He just said, put his hand on my shoulder and said, "I'm sorry, my friend." I will conclude with this thought, Larry, which is we're not friends. We're actually family. But you definitely owe me. And so with that, happy birthday. I'd like to introduce Jess, or as Marge likes to refer to her, I didn't know she was saying something. So Jess, if you'd like to come up and say a few words.
I don't know if I can put him on my shoulders. That might have to be you. So he's hard to follow. I wish I could be funny like him. But when it comes to my dad, it's a little bit hard for me to just be funny. My dad is my everything. I get nervous, so I wrote a little bit. I'll try not to read it totally, but I have to read a little bit from here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So, my dad was born to be a father. He's wonderful at a lot of things. He's amazing at his job, but even his current job speaks to the fact that he's a father, first and foremost. I don't know if many of you know this, but he tried to retire. I think it lasted a week. And then he went back to work, and what his job is now means more to me than I can say. He went back and he's working for the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. It's a disease I've had. I've had it for over 25 years, and if anyone can make a difference, it's my dad. And there's so many qualities that make my dad such a wonderful father. But there's one I'd like to speak to specifically, and that's his empathy, which I know Ella would say the same. She would say he has the best empathy. But when I was little, I was afraid of elevators. And instead of, just saying, oh, just get over it, or I don't know what most fathers do. My father, he took me to New York City, and there was one elevator I wasn't afraid of. And it was a glass elevator in the Marriott Marquis in New York. And we would ride that elevator over and over. I don't even know how long it was, but I got over it. And to this day, I only live in elevator buildings. I always ask for the highest floor, and my dad stood there with me, and he rode that elevator. And on those trips to New York, it was such a special father-daughter time. It was wonderful. We had just the two of us. We got to go and see Broadway shows, and I have the best memories. And for your birthday, since I wish I could do a million things to repay you, but there's one thing that I remember the most, and that was going to New York and seeing shows with you. And my best memory was Miss Saigon, and it's coming back to Broadway, and I got us 2 tickets to see it. We have coming up, and it's June 10th, which happens to be when Mom's away, and make sure.
Where are my tennis girls?
Yeah. We'll see what's going on together, but what I want to say is a lot of little girls say they believe their father's the best father in the world, but I respectfully disagree with all of them. Not only do I believe it, but there's not been a single day of my life since the time I was a little girl till today that I haven't just believed it, but I know it to be true. I love it so much now. Sister.
So as the older sister, Jessica's always had to follow me, but I will say I can't follow my sister right now. So the kids and I put together a little video for their grandfather, and hopefully it'll work. I'm going to hopefully rely on Fuad if I need some help.
Ella, what's one word you'd use to describe your grandpa?
Amazing. Oh, that one's easy.
anywhere to go. So make the best of this task and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos of memories and dead skin on child. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life.
Chloe, what do you love about your grandfather?
I think he's a very nice, caring grandfather and very sweet. And he never gives up. He always tries to move things around to be with us. And we always have fun dinners and laugh. He teaches me a lot of stuff. And he's just a very great grandfather. He's extremely generous, empathetic. He always comforts me. He's always there for me. And he's the most amazing grandpa, and I just love him. Where's my grandpa? I love my grandpa so much.
So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos of memories and dead skin on child. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your
Happy 70th birthday, Grandpa!
I know that Ella wanted to say something really briefly before Grandma.
So, I did not prepare for what I was going to say tonight. Because I love my grandpa so much that it's going to be so easy to come up with things to say about him. Grandpa, you were so amazing. You're always there for me. And we have so many wonderful memories together. I just love when we do math together and when and when we go to Six Flags and he like always gets But I just love you so much, and that's really the message I want to send out.
I am so grateful for all of you to share this very special occasion with us. I want to first thank Ivory and Abraham. Where are you guys? Thank you so much. Ivory, Madison, and Abraham Mertens are well, we're their guests. They are the members of this club, and they have allowed us the opportunity to share all of this with you. And I want to thank you so deeply for the opportunity to have this experience at this yacht club that has done such a fabulous job. So thank you so very much. Obviously, Larry was surprised. He almost buckled at the knees. I don't know if you saw him walk in and shut the door. It was fabulous. He also was very emotional, and I think this is a very emotional time for Larry. If all of you are not aware, not believe that this day would come. Actually, it hasn't come yet. His birthday's tomorrow, so I was so worried that Larry would have a heart attack. Honest to God. Please just let him live through tonight. So it's not over yet, but hopefully by tomorrow he'll still be here. But every male in his family has either died by age 70 or had a major heart attack. So let's just give a round of applause for Larry being alive. First, I want to really appreciate and pay honor to those of you who have come from so far away. So for those of you who have come beyond the Bay Area, would you stand up, please? Stand up, please. All right. Whoa. Actually traveled more than 100 miles to down. No, you have not, Gerard. Oh, did I say more than that? I'm so bad at math. Less than 100 miles. For those of you who have traveled less than 500 miles, please sit down. For those of you who have traveled less than 1,000 miles, please sit down. For those of you who have traveled less than 2,000 miles, 3,000, I feel like the auctioneer is 1896. Figure it out, Jill. 5,000 miles. 3,000 miles. Dominique and Gerard are the winners. For those of you who, please stand up if you've known Larry more than 5 years. More than 5 years. For those of you who have known Larry less than 10 years, please sit down. For those of you who have known Larry for less than 12 years, sit down. Sorry, sit down. Oh my God. For those of you who have known Larry less than 15 years, 20 years, 20. Samuel people less than 20. For those of you who have known Larry less than 25 years, sit down, please. For those of you who've known Larry less than 30 years, sit down. For those of you who've known Larry less than 40 years, sit down. For those of you who've known him more than 50 years, raise your hand. Thank you to those who have known him a shorter time and a longer time, and I've known him a long time. More than 50 years for me, and I just want to say that living and knowing Larry has been the most important experience in my entire life. That all of you know, and everyone said, Larry is such a nice guy, right? He's such a nice guy. But he is more than a nice guy. He is the wing behind all of our wings. That everyone who knows Larry know that he is here to support people, not because it makes him feel better, but because it makes all of us feel better. And I just want to tell you, Larry, that every moment that I have known you has not been perfect, but it's still been the best years of my life. Thank you, darling. And thank you for everything you've done for a little gift to Larry. This is kind of exciting. Larry doesn't know this, many of you don't, but perhaps you know that there's a recent Nobel Prize winner, right? That Nobel Prize winner will not go to the Nobel Prize ceremony, but that Nobel Prize winner and his band are coming to honor Larry Schlenoff. Bob Dylan and the band, otherwise known as the Jack of Hearts Band, is here from Los Angeles to entertain all of us. Larry's favorite music of all time.
And now you gotta like thinking stuff. This is the real reason. Alright, I'm gonna start with an old number for you. This one's for Larry. Happy I'm sentimental, so I walk in the rain. I've got some habits, even I can explain. We may go the corner, end up in Spain. Why try to change me now? I sit and dig, I've got daydreams galore. Cigarette ashes, there they go on the floor. Oh, wait for the weekend, leave my key in the door. Why try to change me now? Why can't I be more conventional? People talk, people stare, so I try. But that's not for me. Can't you see?
Much better, much better.
And we've known Larry for
It needs to be
years.
done.
After this, it might be the end of a wonderful, long, profitable relationship. I spent a long time
Honey, it's not loud.
working on this.
Don't use the mic.
All right, here it goes. We're all here tonight because of our great love and respect for Larry. Every one of us recognize his intelligence, his honesty, his integrity, and exemplary devotion to family, his fierce loyalty to Margie, his adoring fathering of his two beautiful daughters, Lauren and Jessie. But suppose there were another hidden, secret side of Larry that few of us were only directly aware of, or dimly aware of. It can be introduced in the words of the late, great Maurice Chevalier. Thank heaven for little girls. After all, this is a guy who would address his little daughters with phrases, this is true, folks, like, sweet love, love of my life, I love you more than life, princess, or, get this, I worship the air that you breathe. Indeed, an acronym of some of these phrases are encoded in the very password that he uses today to open his computer. This brings us to another questionable question. Has any one of you ever wondered what might actually be in his computer? What actually he might be looking at when he disappears to work at home? You have to remember that this is a guy who insisted in waiting for the school bus with both of his little daughters for an entire year. He was the only dad there. And at the end of the school year, all the other waiting moms gave him a custom t-shirt with the inscription, Best Bus Stop Dad. Now, it's true. Larry really took that to heart, and he almost got into big trouble at IBM for missing too much work when he started obsessively lurking around many other bus stops in Westchester County, always wearing his special t-shirt under his blue blazer. Now, speaking of blazers, a few years ago, I found a pile of his old, ratty, discarded ones at the back of the walk-in closet of the guest bedroom in Shea Schwenoff across the street. The thought occurred to me they might be hiding something. So I dug under these ratty blazers and found, get this folks, an entire set of well-thumbed and underlined first editions of the American Girl series. Further, hidden under these was a dog-eared paperback, this one heavily underlined in red. With a picture of some girl named Rebecca on the cover, entitled Secret at Nokomis. This should have not have surprised me. After all, Larry was the guy that instructed secretaries at IBM that he was to be interrupted at any time, in any meeting, even with the CEO of IBM, if one of his children called. So it became a common occurrence that in the midst of critical meetings, a secretary would knock on the door, come in, and state, "Mr. Sharnoff, there's a little girl on the phone that really needs to talk to you." And then Larry would frantically leap up and race from the meeting to grab the first phone he could find. His colleagues would knowingly nod, roll their eyes, and shake their heads. So, Larry, despite your pretty image, your cover has finally been blown. We all just always saw you as a really great dad. We admired you. Many of us saw you as a role model of what it can mean at its very best to be a husband and a father. As the father of 4 daughters myself, you were an inspiration to me. But even though your cover has been blown, none of our admiration needs to be modified. Despite my teasing and joking, all the great stuff is really true. Larry, you really are the shining beacon, the North Star, the best bus stop dad, the Rock of Gibraltar to your children, marking your grandchildren, and also every one of us here tonight. I love you, my friend.
I saw a whole lot of people who looked like me, and then I heard about this Larry guy, and 2 songs popped into my head. And the first one is a Carly Simon song, you probably heard it, and it's something about "You're So Vain." You probably think this party's about you. And the second one, which is more to my heart, and I'm positive, in fact, I'm really positive, I'm totally positive, that's Positively 4th Street. Sure that you've heard this song, and it goes something like this.
One of my favorites.
I wish that for just one time you could stand inside my shoes and just for that one moment
Don't finish it.
I could be you. Yes, I wish that for just one time you could stand inside my shoes.
You know.
You'd know what a delight, what a delight it is to see you. All right, Larry.
Well, the weekend was bad. She turned around.
and near. I hope you have a great birthday. I love you, Grandpa.
Okay, I'm going to employ her as my speechwriter. But with that, thank you so much to both of you for what I'm sure will be amazing. Even though I don't know what's behind the underneath the little towel, but it's a little bit weird, but that's okay. Okay. Okay, so with that, I'm going to hand the mic over. Thank you so much. Here you go.
Tassels down here.
Yeah, the words are, can you ever see? Okay, the words are right up there on the screen. And if everybody wants to sing along more, then you've been here. Oh, I'm just that you're here, down in the easy chair. How many bands can you retire? One the sign said not for hire. Margie, you can't deny her. You ain't going nowhere. 10 years past, went to get down. Came back and said, let's get down. 12 years we forget how's that sound. You ain't going nowhere. Ooh, we said we here. 3 more times that you've been here. Oh, I'm sad you're here. Down in the easy chair. One was incomplete before, and then came on the dressing room. Ain't no dad nor a door. You ain't going nowhere. Oh, we loading over.
You're lucky, fella.
You ain't going nowhere.
Thank you, that was amazing. So, I think the band's coming back pretty soon, but I did want to give some close friends who have given me the eye if I'm going to speak, an opportunity to speak, and they're giving me the eye at the same time. So this is not about who I like more, but I'm going to go with Jill because she's closest to me and I'm scared of her the most.
And so you should be, Andrew, so you should be. I am Jill Sage, and I am here from the Villages, Florida. How many have heard of the Villages, Florida? Let's see a raise of hands. And do all of you know what our reputation is in the Villages? Yes, okay. So I don't, and I am the one who caused the entire reputation. Anyway, Larry, we have so much to thank you for. And Margie, you too. One of the most endearing is this frickin' outfit. I couldn't think of a more unflattering outfit for a woman to have to wear to a party tonight. And for all of you women who said, I just couldn't do it, I don't like you. Margie said before that she's happy you turned 70, and if I had my way 20 years ago, you might not have made it. So here's the story. Before Ella and Chloe and Logan came along, it was Jill and Ed and vacations with Marge and Larry. Many which were hilarious and fun and so wonderful, but there was one really memorable one. Sticks in my mind, and really, we were somewhere out west skiing. The snow was so high, you couldn't even see the houses. It was freezing, probably 4 below zero. We're in a rent-a-car. We go out to dinner, and we're on our way home. And don't you know it, the car breaks down. So Margie, 14 pounds soaking wet in a cute little dress, says, I can't do anything. And Larry, in his blue blazer and his khakis and his shoes, are like, I can't do anything. So there leaves Ed and I in the back seat. And I'm like, guess what, Ed? We're on. So we get out of the car, and Marge is telling Larry to drive. Why she's not driving, I don't know. And Larry says, okay, push. So there's Ed and I pushing. It's 14 below. I'm pushing. Ed is pushing. We're pushing to our heart. I'm freezing. Then Larry gets going. Mud is in my face. Ice is in my face. I'm freezing. I'm miserable. I want to kill. But 20 minutes later, pushing, we get him going. And he starts driving. And I'm like, yes, we did it, Ed, we did it. And he's driving. And I'm saying, Ed, we did it, we can go now. And he's driving. And he's freaking driving. And he's no longer to be seen. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Where's he going? He must be coming around the block. So we wait and we wait, we're freezing. He doesn't come around the block. So we start walking home in 5 below. And we're walking, I'm saying, I'm going to kill him. I will never speak to him again in my life. He's not going to live to 70. We get home 10 blocks later, and there he is with a big smile and saying, but we might have gotten stuck again. We had to leave you. So for that I say, although I love you and I'm happy you're 70, you almost didn't make it. So happy birthday, and many more.
Jill, no, there's no rebuttal. This is just a comment on how stupid I am.
What?
So how stupid I am. At the 65th, my 65th birthday, Jill stood up and she told some stories, and I said, I'm really surprised you forgot the story. So this is my fault.
Okay, we're going to keep rolling. My dear friend Amy.
Thank you, thank you. So I just want to tell a story about a girl who had a really hard relationship with her dad. And she grew up and she was raising 2 girls, and she struggled with her relationship with her husband. And she watched next door as this daddy raised 2 girls, and she watched the ups and downs of what the world dealt them. And she said, wow, I would love to have known that daddy. And 4 or 5 years later, I get a call from this family who says, we would really love for you to work with us with a new nonprofit. And I said, I'm so sorry, that sounds amazing, but I can't do it with you. And they said, we really want you to join us in this movement. And I said, all right, I can go to lunch with you. And I met this family who had raised this other 2 girls in a way that connected a father to a daughter in a way that I never knew. So for me, Teach with Africa is not only a part of my heart, it's also a part of my family heart that Larry and Margie brought me. Because they not only brought me a belief in a cause that my heart and my head connected with, but that little girl inside me really needed. So Margie and Larry, thank you for helping me understand what a father and a daughter could be, because I didn't know that until my next door neighbor and their two beautiful girls brought that to me in a way that I could see and that I could believe. So until now, until you and your girls and you and your wife brought me the belief of family, I thank you. From the bottom.
Try to top that, guys.
The daddy I never knew.
Well, luckily, my dad's name was Larry. He's not a Larry Schlenoff, but he's a good Larry. I'm Christine Kersnick, my husband Renato. We are so thankful to be here today with these amazing people. Larry and Margie gave us so much. We actually met on the tennis court, and Margie was this like whippersnapper talking about senior league, and I was like, what? There's no way you're a senior. What does that mean? Over 50? No way you're 50. And immediately Margie and I were what I would call best friends, but now I'm learning as I've been to weddings and other things that we're just lucky to be part of the best friend community that you've built. But we got married and had our party at their home in San Francisco, so they gave us our marriage. Larry gave me a job with Semio. There's a great table here. Charlie's got a shirt. Who keeps shirts 15 years? Larry keeps shirts 15 years.
Very excited. My version, everybody dressed in
Charlie's better. He's way better than me. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for, making us go to Croatia, making us, do things that only you two could get us to do. I'm so thankful for our friendship. And Renato wants to say something too. Happy birthday, Larry.
Yes. Obviously, numerous trips, numerous stories. Vegas, I think Vegas, first time to Vegas for me was with Larry and Margie, and
Dangerous.
checked into Bellagio and went straight to the poker table, and you're gonna meet the lady in the back that gives you the poker rate and all that stuff, right? It was awesome. But I mean, some great stories, but one story that sticks in my mind always is Larry had a little complication with his stomach. So we had to go to the hospital, or Margie and Larry went to the hospital, right? And I happened to be there. I said, Margie, I'll be there for you. It was right around the corner from where we lived. I said, I'm there for you. We show up. Larry's checking in. We're talking to the nurses, and they're like, we have a CEO from Sony.
It was a big deal.
And they were really, really concerned about making sure that everything was okay.
Special treatment.
I don't know how Samuel became Sony, but Larry was the CEO of Sony that weekend. It was and the story goes something like this, and I'm trying to do best. So Larry gets out of his surgery. He's a little groggy still. Doesn't know what was really going on. Margie goes, come on, Renato, we gotta go see him. We gotta make sure he's all right. So we walk in, and I kid you not like, hi, Margie, hi, Renato. He goes, nurse, make sure I'm covered up, because that young man will never be able to live up. If he sees me
Someone whose thoughtful, quiet voice, persistent as the ocean's waves, brings to those around him a desire to raise their own voices. Freedom of speech is always a conversation. Someone starts with the wind or a tree, or the tides breaking against the rocky shores. Someone who knows, too, how to use his silence, so when he speaks, his voice carries to others their own dreams of freedom.